Are you looking to build an amalgamation of pumpkins or just a huge pumpkin farm for Hypixel Skyblock? Or are you just looking for some way to farm pumpkins and melons without having to work and do physical labor? But trust me, two of these farms, you're gonna have to do physical labor. One of them is automatic. But anyway, if you're doing this in Hypixel Skyblock like I did here, I suggest getting hose of greatest tilling, and also some Prisma pumps, because I used only a magic water bucket and a normal hoe, and trust me, you're gonna want them. I was up till 3 in the morning building this farm. I can't remember when I started, but I kid you not, this was painful. Anyway, I will show you 3 designs that I find useful to farm pumpkins and melons in Minecraft, and you can use them in Hypixel Skyblock, random Minecraft servers, and just in general if you want to farm these two crops. So, yeah. Alright, so here we are in my not survival world, in my super flat world, where I have built the 3 designs for the pumpkin farms. This one right here is the automated farm with redstone observers and redstone and pistons. You can build this in any survival world, in any lands and whatnot. So what you're going to need for this is you're going to need redstone, an observer, or a few observers, depending on how big you want this, a piston, a block of choice, dirt, seeds, and a hoe. So how this is going to be built is you mine out a spot. Either it can be like this, can be compacted into a wall, or you can just build it like this. You could have usually the pistons would go beside the observers like so, and the pumpkin stem would be in front of the observer like this. Now the observer, once activated, when the pumpkin grows on this block, it will push the piston, and the piston would break the pumpkin, and then the pumpkin would fall here. Usually, if you were to build this, you would want to put a hopper in front of where the pumpkin and or melon drops, and then put a chest connected to the hopper, and then the pumpkins would go into the chest, and then you'll have basically an infinite automated pumpkin farm. So this is just an example of 1 layer, and over here's 2 layers. I don't know if you would want to put repeaters in here, but it's just the same thing stacked up 1 block above the other. When I was placing this together, when I put the stems together, I did notice that all 4 pistons broke. So I don't know if they're all gonna pop off when at least one of them breaks, or all 4 of them. So if you want to add to this and make it work to your specifications, you totally can. And I'm not that great at redstone, but if you want to try it, go ahead. To build this farm, what you're going to want to do is you're going to place the observers first, and you got to make sure that this little red dot here is facing you, and then you want to skip a block, place another one, and then right beside them you would place pistons like so, and then you'd have your block of choice, or just blocks mined out from a wall over here, and then you'd place them right that, and then you'd place redstone all along this little brick wall thing here. And then what you'd want to do is you'd want to till the soil in front of the observers, and then place, as you see, the pistons move as soon as the crop is activated, and the pistons move. So once this grows and a pumpkin grows, or melon, it would disperse the pumpkin and melon, and then it would break off, and then you wouldn't have to do much for that. So that's the automated farm. For this farm, you're going to want to grab a block of choice, grab a light block, and just build. So how this works is you have the slabs above the pumpkin crops. So this is what you're going to need. You're going to need a slab, a light block, the seeds, dirt, and a hoe. Now, how this is sectioned off, it's sectioned off with 2 blocks apart. So 2 blocks for pumpkins to grow on, 2 blocks apart for the stems, 2 blocks of pumpkin, 2 blocks of stems, 2 blocks of pumpkin, 2 blocks of stems. Similar with, you can do this with melon as well. and you don't have to put the slabs on the end. You can just put blocks or just have them blank. I just put them here so that the pumpkins don't grow on this side, like in this direction. So you're going to want to come over here. You're going to want to place 2 here, unless you just want to keep it blank. Skip 2, place 2, skip 2, place 2. And then after this, you're going to want to get a temporary block and then place a slab over top so it's like this. So it's 1 block above the dirt block. And then what you're going to want to do is just till the soil, plant your seeds, and then place... You can do this any way you want. I just like to do 4 and then 2 light blocks and then 4. And then you could place another 4 and then place the other 2 and then till the soil again, like so. Oh, that's backwards. And then you're going to till the soil once more, plant all of the crops like so. And then you can continue doing this for the other rows. You can even use, you can put water underneath the slabs if you wanted to make them grow faster. I just chose not to, since that's what I didn't do in my world and in my Skyblock island. So yeah, this was the first design that I did for my island in Hypixel Skyblock when the gardens didn't exist. It wasn't full length, it was just small, quarter island size. So yeah, so what you would do when you're going through here is you'd have like a block here and you'd have like a border around the whole farm. You'd take your axe with efficiency and then you'd go through the rows like so and just break it like that. And then you'd go here, you turn, and then you just go through again through the other row and then so on. Now for the borders around the farm, I would suggest doing a block up and then doing slabs. So if I had a block of choice here, temporary block, whatever, I'd take the block here and then I'd do a border like this. This way I won't fall out of the farm when I'm going through here. And you can just put a block here and then a slab, or just leave it like this and then you can just go here and turn, or you could just do this here so when you're turning you don't like hit the slab, jump over it and auto jump, and then you can just continue here. Now on to the third farm. The third farm, it will take you longer to build depending on how big you want it. I built my pumpkin farm the same full length of the plot in the gardens in Hypixel Skyblock, but I'm just going to show you how it's done in probably the dumbest way possible, so you can just piece it together however you'd like. So this one, it's pretty simple. The crops haven't grown yet for this farm. However, how they grow is from here. They grow on this side, and then these 2 plants would grow in between these 2 blocks here. And it's pretty simple, don't worry about it. What I would recommend though is for the water, I put these blocks here to put around them so the water wouldn't spill out, so it would just be a waterfall behind the crops. I would suggest putting signs instead so it takes up less space and so it looks neater. And for the lights, I wasn't sure how to do it without the water spilling over. So instead of the dirt here, I'd suggest putting the bottom layer right here, because these blocks can just be anything, because you're just putting the water on top of it, right? So if you want light in this whole build, I would suggest either putting a light block underneath here, so before you put the water here. And yeah, so what you'll really need is a light block, dirt, water bucket, or plasma pump, or whatever you need to build a farm. So what you're going to need to do to build this one is, what you're going to do is you're going to place 2 blocks of whatever dirt you have, place 2 blocks on top like that, break the ones underneath, and then you're going to place 4 blocks like this underneath where you broke the 2 blocks. On that same line, you're going to place 4 blocks along that line after you break them. Or you can just do the straight line of 6 and then break the 2 underneath the ones on top. And so what you're going to do from here is from that little L-shaped line, you're going to extend the dirt like so. You can extend it however long you'd want, or just however you prefer, but this is just how it's set up. And I'm going to show you how to do the water with the lights instead, so that way when you're layering it beside each other, like over here, what I did was I put them right beside each other, so it was the one farm water and then another farm, and then it would just continue on. And then you can also do this on top of each other as well. You can layer these farms like this, but then if you were to do the water would be on the top layer of the farm. I will show you over here. So if you wanted to layer this farm, what you're gonna want to do is do this. So you do 2, and then you do it like this, and then you'd layer it once more. So it would be 1, 2, yep. So that you can walk through here and just continue going here, and then you just continue the same layer on top of it if you wanted to layer it, and the water would go on top of this layer of 2. You could use the water to travel through this. You can add a pillar with a ladder. You can do water elevators. It's really up to you. What I'd prefer to do is to do the trapdoors. I'd add trapdoors to the ends here, and that way I can just either jump on the trapdoors or anything. So what I'm doing right here is I'm just placing the signs like this, so I can just place the water and have it go down so it doesn't spread. You could either do this with trapdoors as well. I'm just doing signs. I'm pretty sure, yeah. So you could use your block of choice, a temporary block. You could also do, you could use trapdoors, anything that could block water from spreading. Unless you want the water to spread, then go for it. But I just want this to look clean, so I'm just placing the signs here. And then I'm going to continue working on the underneath part of this farm here. So this is what it would look like if you're going to layer it. Obviously, the signs are there temporarily, sorry. And the signs would replicate these blocks here, because if you were to place the water down here, it would flow, because water can flow up to 8 blocks in the overworld. And so how we do the water till is we'd place 2 blocks, or so we'd place blocks like this, place 2 blocks up or 3 blocks up actually for one that's on one side, and then 2 blocks up, so the third block we keep. So like this, you'd have the block on diagonal from each other above the one path here. This is just so you can like walk through and just get to your pumpkins, and also the water could travel down. So water can travel up to 8 blocks. With that, when you do the waterfall here, I'm just gonna place the sea lanterns right here really quickly, because it doesn't really matter what block you use for the water, as long as the water has a place to sit. Place the water once again like this, making sure it doesn't fall anywhere else so it doesn't damage crops or anything, because if you were to place stuff like this around and it were to fall and damage crops, it would be a problem. So where the water's going, it's going down this way, so the block that we put the air over here, so where we broke the block here, yeah, see, the water is flowing down here, so you won't have to worry about the lower layer not getting any water. And when the water goes from here, it's just going down. So water can hydrate up to 8 blocks in Minecraft, so you don't have to worry about everything being hydrated. So what I'm doing here is I'm just tilling the soil and then placing the pumpkin seeds like so. So how you would do this is the block that's closer to the water, you'd till it, and then you'd place your pumpkin seeds or melon seeds, and then you'd just wait for them to grow like so. And then for the middle row here, like the middle row where the other one is, not closest to the water, so the 4 blocks, you'd till the edge blocks, not the middle blocks, the edge blocks. We have that edge block, and now you do the other one on the other side. So you'd go till, skip 2, till, and then you'd plant your stuff, and that's how you'd layer the farm and build it. And then what you do for the top layer here is you do that same thing for the bottom, and you could probably also put some light around it as well, like this, or just under the water. You can do it however you'd like. I'm just doing this temporarily for now. And then what you'd want to do is when you're going through the farm, to how this works is you'd go from here like this, and then you just break the melons like this, so you'd get 3 so you're just breaking all 3 like this, because you can break up the 4 blocks. I'm just sneaking so I don't break the crops. So if you are going to build this in just a normal survival world or in anything else, I'd suggest sneaking. However, if you're building this in Hypixel Skyblock, you're going to want the farmer's boots and delicate axe, so that way you don't break the crops and they can just stay. So if you were to break the crops, it's like replenish in with a hoe. I hope this made sense. I'm not really great at teaching things, especially for Minecraft. However, if you want me to go in more detail or you have any questions, leave a comment below. And yeah, if you need any help with anything, just shoot a comment. And I want you guys to comment what your favorite crop is to plant in Minecraft and what you love to do and what you love to farm. So yeah, stay farming. Happy planting, I guess. See ya.